Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Vamily Show, the very awesome family show. And with me today, I have Pamela Hopkins. She's an MTS artist, and she has some very entertaining songs. And I gotta say that you're, I think you're one of the first ones that I've seen that actually has the Vivo page, and you have the music videos on there. And the one. The one that I thought was really interesting, and I kind of want to know the story behind, and is somebody here is walking, like that one, and the music video you did for it, like it was so entertaining. I'm like, man, whoever that song's about, I kind of feel sorry for him because that's like you went hardcore with the video on it too. So was
And
that?
it could have got worse. We just were
I,
trying to make
I can tell. I'm sure that was the toned down version. I'm sure the uncensored version would be quite the music video. But um, how fun is it shooting those music videos that you get to go out and do?
they're a lot of fun. So my videographer and I and his wife, which is Sharp Dunaway Videography, and Angela Dunaway and I, we basically sit together and we listen to the song, and she comes up with ideas and sends it over to me, and then I say, this is kind of what I'm thinking, and we kind of collaborate back and forth. And then on shooting day, we try to make sure we have everything in place so it doesn't take as long. And we just kind of go for it. And it's usually a full day of shooting. I say full day, 4 hours, which in shooting terms, it's a long time.
Right.
Depending on where we're going. So that particular video, Somebody Here's Walking, we had 4 different locations, and we did the shoot over a 2-day period. Trying to think. Yes, we did over a 2-day period. So I did my part on one day with the guy at the pizza place and the girl, and then we shot Jacqueline, my niece. We shot her parts all in one day. So yeah, 2 days. It was a 2-day shoot. But yeah, it's hectic. It's fun. We enjoy it. I mean, my next one's about to drop for Little Things. I've got to actually push it out to Vivo probably tonight. So it'll drop Friday, I think. I have to have 24 hours before they'll push it out to the world. But Little Things should come out Friday, and then we're going to be working on my next video for my next song, which is Given a Damn, Don't Go With My Outfit.
that's I like the title of that one. That's
a good
really
song.
interesting.
I'm really excited about that song.
I kind of want to know lyrically, like, who are your influences lyrically when you do your songs? Because I saw that you had a bunch of covers on your YouTube channel. Like, I really enjoyed you doing "Sweet Child of Mine," and so I'm sure you got a varied musical interest that you listen to, and not just country.
Right. My taste is very broad. So if I were to go back to my childhood and thinking about like who I was listening to back then, probably the furthest back I can remember was being at my grandmother's house, and she did listen to like old country. So you had some Hank, you had, Johnny Cash, Loretta Lynn. I didn't know a whole lot of that because I was so little. So my earliest memory of actually being like involved in music was probably early 80s. Probably about 7 years old, 6 or 7 years old. And I really loved, and I think they call it yacht rock now, but back then it was soft rock. So Air Supply and Boston.
I enjoy that too, by the way. So don't feel embarrassed.
Yeah, Styx. Like Styx was one of my favorite bands. So I listened to a lot of their stuff, and I had an older brother. So he's 6 years older than me. Well, I have 2, but I had one that I lived with that he was into like the hair metal bands, Yeah. And so then it was, Motley Crue, Twisted Sister, the Wild Guns N' Roses, which is where Sweet Child of Mine came from. Right. I've always loved that song. But so if I were to develop through my years, my influences, like I said, go from old country to that soft yacht rock to hair metal. And then in the early 90s, I was into like, New Kids on the Block, more pop.
And I saw you do Born on Blondes, What's Up too. I saw you do that one.
Yeah, I was into like alternative stuff. Yeah. I started in alternative stuff and was singing, B-52s, and then it was R&B. Like it's like as I grew up, my focus has shifted. Country's always been in there. Like Randy Travis was one of my most favorite, I guess 80s country artists. And as we moved into the 90s country was big for me. Reba McEntire was a big influence on me. I listened to all her stuff, went to like 2 or 3 of her concerts, and But then I also went to Boys to Men. I sat on the
Right.
front row of Boys to Men and Mary J. Blige and Montel. So it was just total opposite. And I've always gravitated towards singing country though, because I
Right.
feel like that's where my voice more fits naturally.
Right.
So but yeah, my influence everywhere. Obviously, if you see it on my YouTube channel, my artist channel, so I have a Vivo channel and I have my artist channel. And on my artist channel, because I do covers in my weekend job, which is a dueling piano player, we cover everything. It's a good thing I have it all over the place because it helps me do
Right.
that job better and not
Right.
sound like a country artist when I'm singing "Sweet Child of Mine."
Right.
I don't feel like I sound country when I sing it, do I? Maybe
No,
I
no, no,
do.
you don't. You don't at all. And I was gonna say when I hosted karaoke years ago, you'd be like one of my favorite people to come in because you sing a bunch of different stuff. And one of my favorite ones to sing was Brooks and Dunn, "My Maria." If I was gonna sing a country song,
Maria. Yeah, I
yeah,
like that one. Yeah.
yeah, just because
I
my
used to
voice,
love I love some Brooks and Dunn.
yeah, my voice can fit that one really well. And then when you did the song "Little Rock Famous," that one really struck me. It's like I don't care if I ever get past where I'm at now because I enjoy what I'm doing so much right now.
Right.
And
Exactly.
is that kind of the right kind of attitude you think for most things in life, to be happy where you're at and then whatever
I
else comes?
I think so. So I think in your life you should have a roadmap. So you should have a roadmap of the direction you're going. And you're going to have all these little places on the side that are you miss them if you only have eyes for this. Yes, that should be your end goal, but to get to that end goal, you have all these little smaller stops. So my end goal, people always ask me like, what do you really want to do? You want to become famous? I'm like, if that happens, great.
Right.
If it doesn't, I'm okay. I'm okay. That's not my end goal. My end goal is to perform and to write and to sing and to touch people. And if that means I touch 100, great. If I touch 100,000, great. If I touch 100 million, great. Would I love to sustain a lifestyle of being able to just do music and not have any other outside jobs? Absolutely, because it's my passion, it's my love. And so I wrote Little Rock Famous for that reason. I was like, I love what I do. People know me here. Like, I
Right.
mean, I was at my a doctor's office yesterday getting a treatment, and of course I had my mask on, no makeup, which I would never do to you guys. Anyway, of course, they don't know who I am. These are like new nurses coming in, and we're talking. And I said something about, I was like, yeah, I said, I'm trying to get, some treatments done in my face, like for sun damage and things like that. And
Right.
I was like, I've got the ACMA Awards coming up June 7th, which is the Arkansas Country Music Awards. I was nominated for Vocalist of the Year.
Nice.
And the one nurse goes, and she said, when is that? I said, well, June 7th. And so we're talking about products and things like that. And she said, oh my God, I know who you are. And I was like, okay. And she goes, you play downtown. She goes, you're that girl that plays the piano downtown. She goes, I used to come and see you all the time. She goes, now it's clicking. And the other girl, she's from my hometown here. And she goes, I know exactly who you are too. I thought I knew you because we lived in the same town, but I don't know you from there. I said, no, maybe I don't leave my house. I'm here. I do my day job a little bit outside of the house when I have to. And then I go to my work and then I come back here. And that's kind of, now that everything's shut down, you can't go very many places,
Right.
So I don't get to go bowling as much. I don't get to go to the movies as much, but that kind of solidified that, I don't have to walk outside my door and everybody like, oh my God, Pamela, that doesn't, if you know who I am, great. They're like,
Right.
oh, you're so sweet. You're so down to earth. Like, I was like, well, I appreciate you knowing me. Please follow me, and so
Right.
you gain fans just by talking. And if that is all I ever do is perform where I perform, I'm happier than a pig in slop. I love what I do. And if I can write like I do and put out my music and people enjoy it and can shake their butts to it or cry to it or laugh to it or whatever, they have some emotion, I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm good.
And I was gonna say there's probably drawbacks to when you get so famous that you can't go anywhere. It probably isn't that. It looks like it'd be a fun life to have, but it probably isn't that fun of a life to have when you're mobbed.
I would totally agree with you because I told my producer that, and even Sharp, my videographer, he's like, well, several thousand people obviously know who you are, and I'm like, but if I walk down the street, they probably wouldn't know that's me. which is A-okay with me, because that means I don't have to hire security to sit outside my door. I don't have to have electric fence.
Right. All that
Dog,
kind of stuff.
kid, and a husband, and email me if you want to meet me. You don't have to come to my door. Just be like, hey, and I'll be like, okay, well, I'll come have lunch with you. That's okay.
Right. And
you want an autograph picture? I'll mail one to you. I don't care.
Right. That's a way better kind of life, and and especially since as somebody that plays and writes music, the fact that you get to do that for a living at all, is just a reward in itself. But I want to ask, since you do the piano stuff at the bars, what is your most hated song that you get requested?
That's hard. There's so many. No, honestly, I get both questions. I get, what is your favorite song and what's your most hated song? I would probably say that the most hated song is Easier. And the only reason I don't like it is because it's so difficult for me to play in rhythm correctly and remember where I'm going, because I have an aversion to it. And that's 1,000 Miles by Vanessa Carlton.
Oh, wow.
It's difficult for my hands to do that and not hit the wrong key. And I've practiced it. I can't tell you how many hours I've practiced that song. And then remembering I had to learn it in chunks. And so when it comes up, I feel my body tense. Here's $10. Can you play 1,000 Miles? I'll try to pass it off to my partner in a heartbeat. Please tell me you know this one. And they're like, no, we don't. That's all you, sister. And I'm like, ugh. So I'll try to wait till like there's less people in the bar.
Right.
And then I make the disclaimer, like, hey guys, I've worked on this song for about 6 years now, and I still can't do it right. So you guys got to sing it, because I can either play it or I can sing it, but I cannot remember the lyrics when I start playing it. So I don't know.
Well, plus, if you wait till later in the night, they've had a little bit more to drink, and
so drunk,
they don't care. Exactly.
Yeah. Now my favorite song, I have a lot, but I have a lot of songs that I absolutely love performing.
What are some of the places that you love to play that you want to play every time?
So, I'm a house player at Willie D's here in Little Rock, as a dueling piano player. As a solo artist, my band just got started last year about this time, and then COVID hit. So we've been playing at a place called the Library Kitchen, which is also downtown Little Rock. I love playing there. And now stuff's starting to open back up. We've played there a couple of times. I say a couple, probably 4 times. And we're scheduled to play there again now that everything's opening back up. But as a solo artist, I haven't played very many places because COVID hit. As a dueling piano player, I have played all over the place. I love playing down in Albuquerque, New Mexico, at a place called Uptown Funk. Fun, yeah. But Indianapolis, I played a place called Brick House when I'm up there. I played down in New Orleans at Tickler's. I love playing. So if somebody says, hey, can we hire you to come play? I'm like, absolutely. First of all, is it going to supplement, or is it going to pay more than what I make here? Because I'm traveling. Are you paying for my travel? What are you doing?
Right.
But I've also played on cruises. So I play on the Norwegian cruise line when the cruises are going, which is also shut down. I was supposed to be in the Baltic last summer, and that didn't happen because all the cruises shut down. But I play for Howl at the Moon when I'm on those. I'm trying to think. And then I recently, a year and a half ago, joined Pro Tour Productions, and was playing overseas in Europe for the troops at different bases. That was fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. That's
awesome.
Probably my most rewarding one, because the troops and their families, we were playing during Christmas time. So playing Christmas music for them and try to get them to sing along and dance along and just kind of forget about the world outside and enjoy that time with us with music. And my favorite place over there was Rota, Spain. Right. Which is, it was a naval air station, which is really fun. I enjoyed that. We were on a huge stage outside. It was like, I was like, this is pretty awesome. And the weather was great. In December, it was not cold. It was great. I was like, I want to live here.
Right.
It was like 70 degrees. It was perfect.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I'd like to be in a place like that in the wintertime once, and not be in the cold and the snow. When you look back, how long you've been doing this? Because it said in your bio that you had your first album in '95.
Right. Long time.
And yeah, and you're talking about, my brother was looking at doing CDs and stuff like that with his band, and he was happening to talk to people that printed the CDs and seeing how much you can get each CD printed for and all that kind of stuff. And then you had to get a UPC label so he could sell it in the stores and all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
that was me. Except we couldn't afford the CD because that was new.
So it was all
That was like, if you want CDs, that's an extra like $2,000. I'm like, I can't afford that. Yeah. Which back in '95, that was way more than it is now. Now,
right.
$2,000, you're like, okay, that'll take me a few months. Back then, it was like buying a car,
Right.
and it doesn't seem like that long ago, but you're looking at almost coming up on 30 years.
Yeah.
So, 95, I was young, and my parents took me to Nashville, and I auditioned for this spot, and they were like, we'd love to work with you. We're going to pitch you to record labels, and we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and pay us this money. So you pay the money, and they produce an album. It wasn't great. Like, I sounded okay, but the mixing on it was not good.
Right.
So I'm the only person that has that. Right. Yeah. Well, that's when you had the reels, the reels. So it was like, okay, I'm going to rewind the reel. Now, once we punch over it, you better get it right. So we can only punch over it so many times. I wish I still had the reels. They didn't give them to me. They, because I guess they just record over them or whatever. I don't know how they dumped them back then, but I am the only one who still has that album, unless people have purchased it from me, because back then I put it in Hastings. That was like a big distributor, so I could go to Hastings and go, would you please sell my tape? And we did cassette tapes. Would you please sell my cassette tape? And they were, because back then, so I had an Eagle Talon car, and for me to play a CD, I had to get the CD holder that I bolted down to my seat a little portable disc holder.
And you had to make sure you had some anti-skip on it, or else you were going to get scratches in your CD too.
Yeah. And then I had to put the cassette tape into the tape deck of my car, and then I could play a CD.
Yeah.
Now my car doesn't have a CD player.
I know. Now you want it to have Bluetooth and hook up.
I know, and a little USB. So now, I press CDs to sell at my shows, and I know some people still want CDs. Thank goodness. And like I said, you can actually, if you go to my website, if I can say this, if you go to my website, I see it scrolling down there.
Yep.
And you join my fan club, the one-time fee, if you do that one, not a subscription, and you pay I think it's $30. You get a t-shirt, you get a CD, and then you get one of my tapes. You get a cassette tape from 1995. Now, if you can find a cassette tape player to play it on, I'm just going to tell you, it's not great. It's not good. And you can laugh at me. So,
well, I have a cassette tape player in this band. So it's this band is 95. So this was a brand new band when you made that album. So.
Yeah. So, like I said, you can hear a world of difference in my voice from 95 when I was a teenager to now. Yeah. A lot better now. And a lot better production quality and all that stuff. But, that was an experience that actually turned me away from music for a very long time. And I was like, I don't want anything to do with this. I love singing. I'll go do karaoke, and that's what I'll do. And I finished college and got married and had a family and had a career. I was a police officer for 13 years. And then I went back and got my master's. Yeah, I went back and got my master's degree in education and became a teacher for 5 years, and gave all that up to now be a musician, because music was calling my name a few years ago. And I was like, we went to a piano bar, and I was like, I could totally do that. I can play piano. I can relearn. I hadn't played in 20 years, but I mean, how hard can that be?
Right.
It's not easy.
It's
way easier now because I've done it for 8 years, almost 8 years now. So it's a lot easier now for me to pick up new songs, and because it's like second nature, it just becomes a habit. And then I was like, I got to find my own sound. And 3 years ago, started working on solo stuff. So
was there any of your songs that were inspired by the time you were a police officer?
Not really, because I had totally not done anything. Like when I say I was out, I was out. The first song that I wrote was inspired when my husband came back from Iraq back in 2005. I wrote it in 2006 it was just in me. And it was one of those that I had a melody and I had a sound for it. I might have wrote it in 2005. I did the demo in 2006. I probably wrote it in 2005. But it was my perspective as a wife raising kids without my husband here. And then the song's called "Giving Back to Us," and they can find it on my artist channel. There's a lyric video. So I don't know if you saw that one, but in the lyric video, there's actually photos of my husband and my kids when they were little and me when I was big and pregnant. Yay. But I wrote that one in about 10 minutes because it just kind of poured out of me. And it was just basically my heart, and everything in it is a true story. It starts off with little boy, blonde and blue eyes. That's my oldest son, who's 20 now. And
Wow.
it ends with, the chorus of it talks about how scary it was for me to think about losing my best friend to war, and that he might not come back, and me having to be okay with it. And then it ends kind of with the giving back to us is not part of the chorus. It's part of the third verse where it says, God giving back to us what the war tore apart. So basically it says, I sent him as one person and he came back as another. Different and hardened, and how all the soldiers did. So it talks about all the soldiers in the end. But that was probably my first time. Was like, I probably need to start writing. And then again, I put it down and didn't do it until I started doing dueling pianos. And I was like, okay, what am I doing? I got to move forward. What am I doing? And just started, okay, here we go. This is what we're going to do. We're going to find a sound. We're going to figure out what I want to do, and we're going to move forward. And I started doing that. And now I co-write every other week with some Nashville co-writers, and we knock out a song every other week. So my goal this year was to have 24 to 25 completed songs in the next year that I could pick from and have a catalog of for my next project. And so we have done really well completing a song every other week in about 2.5 hours. So
Nice.
Yeah, I've been pretty proud of that. I was like, every time we sit down, we don't even table it. We just finish it.
Yeah. I think it'd be cool to see you do some Lita Ford covers. And
Kiss Me
harking
Once.
back to those hair. Yeah. Or Close My Eyes Forever. That one with Ozzy. If you wanted to do a duet.
Yeah. I'd have to listen to that one again. It's been a while. That one, Kiss Me Once, comes up at the club sometimes. So it's one that's still kind of, I could pull off playing, and doing. A lot of Joan Jett comes out, they'll hear me and they'll go, can you do Heart? Yes, I can do Crazy on You. I can do Magic Man, and I can do Alone. It was like Barracuda. Nope, can't do that one.
that one gets played all the time, Barracuda. And then let's see. If I never had to hear somebody do a karaoke song again, it would be Picture with Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow. They did that so many times over and over again.
I do that one. There's weeks where we do it twice a night. And then it doesn't come up for like 6 months.
Yeah.
But the crowd knows it. And that's the thing. And what I do, everything we do is crowd interaction. So like if somebody gives me a song and they say, here's my song request, part of my job is to look at it and go, what part does the audience have?
Mm-hmm.
And if it's something that's boring or too old or they wouldn't know, like it's a B track or whatever, because some people will give us, like, say, Beatles songs, name the top 5 Beatles songs, well, you're going to have, Hey Jude, Let It Be,
Help.
Was Can't Get No Satisfaction. Was that them? No, wait.
No, that was
my brain's thinking. Thank you. I was like, no, wait. A lot of times it jumbles together.
Strawberry Fields Forever. You got that one.
Yeah, well, but see here, Strawberry Fields Forever is not one I would play in a piano bar.
Right.
Why? Right. Because people aren't going to know that one. Exactly. I want to hold your hand. I want to hold your hand. That would be one people would know. Like I said, Hey Jude, because everybody goes, na, 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 na.
Yeah.
If there's a part I can give to the crowd, I'm more likely to play that song than something that were like, oh, I just really love Strawberry Fields. Well, that's great. But I have 400 people in here and 20 will know that song.
Yeah.
380 are going to get up and walk out. My job is to make the club money, not to chase them off because you want a song.
Yeah.
Can I substitute it? Now, if you wait to the last hour of the night, I'm happy to play it.
Yeah.
First hour of the night, happy to play it. But middle of the night, when everybody is trying to party and they're trying to dance and sing along, and you want Strawberry Fields Forever, great song, but
Yeah,
Probably not the best choice right now.
and there's something electrifying too when you get the crowd starting to sing along with you. That was always some of the best nights at karaoke, when you had everybody participating instead of
Yes, well,
just
then
sitting there talking.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're in the job of I can let you get up here and sing and stand here like this with the microphone, and if you're awful, everybody will love it. Or if you're
yeah,
you're great, everybody will love it. But if you're mediocre, people are going to sleep.
yep, yep. One way
So
or the other. They want one or the other.
right, either that you can't be average in karaoke
Yeah,
and have any attention.
yeah. Which when you think about singing wise, I think average is a good thing to be as far as singing goes,
Right,
because you're not terrible, you're not great, but you can at least
you're
carry a tune.
you are listenable.
Yep.
People are like, oh, I like it when you do that song. You do that one good. Yeah. So picture, like I said, that particular song. I usually sometimes depending on who my partner is across from me, because it's a duet. And I know, like you said, you could never hear that song again. You'd be perfectly happy.
Yep. Only because I had to hear it so many times. It's not
Right.
because it's a bad song. I just had to hear it so many
I know
times.
every 10 songs. Can I do a picture?
Yep.
We've already
It's like
played that
there's
one
so many
tonight.
duet songs. There's so many duet songs,
Pick
and
another one.
like
Right,
I'd
right.
rather listen to Summer Lovin' from Greece. I'd rather listen to that one over and over again
Yeah.
than Picture. But yeah,
Well, so the way I do that particular song, depending on who my partner is, because I work with all guys normally. My boss is a female, but she hardly ever plays with us and she fills in. So most of the time I'm playing with three other guys for the night. And so depending on who I'm partnered with that night, because I play an hour on, hour off, and we keep the same partner all night long. There's no rotation. And there's four of us. So if I have a partner that I know can carry it and carry it well, we'll sing it as a duet. But if I'm like, I'm not sure they can carry it that well, or I know they hate the song. Because I have some that are like, I hate that song. And I just go ahead and take it. I go, hey guys, I need you guys to be Kid Rock, and I'm gonna get you started, and I'll feed them the lines. So
right,
I'll say I'll start off with the living my life in a slow hell, and then they take it over, and then I'll give them
yeah,
like the first couple of words of the next line, so they stay on it, and then I don't have to sing it at all. So,
right,
and there's nights when it's so loud, that particular song. I don't know why it's that song, but it is. So I get
yeah,
it. I get
yeah.
it.
Well, that one, and then Friends in Low Places. That
Every
usually gets
night.
everybody
Every
singing.
night. That and Don't Stop Believing and
Oh
Sweet
yeah,
Caroline,
yeah,
Piano Man.
yeah. I'm sure Piano Man's one that you're really really sick of.
Well, you think it would come up every night. A lot of times it doesn't. Now that's another one that if it comes up, it's going to come up like three times that night. And if we get through a weekend not playing it, which it's getting more and more that way because people are moving away from that song.
Yeah,
Um, but people have been going to piano bars forever. Like, you got to play Piano Man. You got to play Piano Man. It's a piano bar. And of course I have to get my harp out, my mouth harp. Let's see, my C harp, my
yeah.
harmonica out, and I have to play it. And my partner will usually play it, and I just do the harmonica part. But yeah, that one, it comes up a lot, and I don't really get sick of it. I kind of like it, but I like music, so not a
Right,
lot of songs annoy me to where when it comes up, I'm like, "Ugh."
right.
Just every now and then. Vanessa
What's
Carlton's "1,000 Miles." There you go. That's it.
Yeah, that one. What's one that you would wish people would request more, that you actually like to play?
My music. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah, your music too. Yeah, of
It
course.
does come up. Sometimes
That
my
will
songs come
happen.
up.
I'm sure more and
Yeah.
more.
Well, it does when I release a new song. People who follow me will ask for it. I am I love slow songs.
Yeah.
And I can't do that a lot in the piano bar.
No,
Um,
the bar
but
wants faster songs so people drink more, but I like
right,
the slow songs more too.
right. So I have to be careful. End of the night, we can do it more because people are winding down. But like I love songs like, but they're not considered like top 40 well-known songs. That's the thing, is like, Up to the Mountain by Patty Griffin, which is a beautiful, beautiful song. Rise Up, and I'll rise up. You know that song? Rise like the day, I'll rise
No,
up.
but you can. Yeah, I know that song. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I play it and act like it was requested sometimes.
There's one. I don't know if I've heard him do it at a piano bar before, but Richard Marx, Right Here Waiting for You.
Yes. Some of the 80s slower songs. I love. So we'll sometimes start, like I start the night, a lot of times, depending on how many people are in there. Sometimes we have 2, sometimes we have 6. And I do Heaven by Bryan Adams as a warm up
Oh
song.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I'm warming my fingers up, and it also is a good vocal song for me to work on to warm up to. If I'm playing across from one of the other players, he'll start with like Chicago. So also, it's like the song
Right.
Hard
Right.
Habit to Break or REO Speedwagon.
Right. I think one
Yeah.
heart song would be good to do is These Dreams. That's the one that I really like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that song. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's I think that one's one of the better heart songs. And
That one never comes up for me.
yeah,
Alone
see,
comes up, and
well, if I'm ever
Barracuda.
there, I'm gonna give you all the ones that never come up for you.
And I'm going to say, I cannot play this. It is 10:30 at night. You want to stick here until 1:30 in the morning, I will play
I
the
will.
last thing.
I'll sit there that long because that. Oh man.
Come on.
Um, but you can get all your stuff at PamelaHopkinsMusic.com,
Yeah.
and then all your links are there as well for your YouTube and everything. And I want to thank you for coming on, because just talking about karaoke and all that kind of stuff just takes my mind back there to doing all that.
Right. That's where I
And
started long ago, karaoke.
yeah, there's a lot of singers, I think, that are especially coming up now that that's what they did to learn. And I think it's really cool because you get past that stage fright stage.
Yep.
where you're afraid to sing in front of people, and you're doing it.
And people are generally supportive.
Yeah.
They're generally
Depending on where you go,
Right.
there's some of those bars that it's the pro karaoke bar or something like
Right.
that, where they take it serious.
I've been to that before, and I watch now that I'm older and kind of past. I'm not doing karaoke much anymore. That I watch like these serious karaoke people, and then I'll get up and sing, and they're like, oh. And I'm like, I'm not trying to steal your thunder. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's like that's their bar, and now all of a sudden you're the headliner for the night, and they're like,
I just
I
do
bring
one
my own
song.
mic,
Yeah.
I bring my own CD book with my tracks in it that are at my key and everything, and now you come in here and you just sing a song that's out of the book. Great.
Yeah. What am I doing?
What am I doing with my life?
Well, and I have to watch it because, like, it's funny because when I go and do that, like, I'll have my friends with me, and they're like, "You gotta get up and sing," and I'm like, I trust me, I don't need to.
Right. Right.
No, you're so much better than this. That's why I don't need to.
I do it for a living. I don't.
I'm not trying to show out. I'm
Right.
trying to relax and have a drink.
Right. It's like if they sell cars for a living, and you go to a car lot and be like, no, sell this car better than this guy's selling it.
But I'll usually do one. I'll be like, okay, I'll hand them the book. I'll just pick one out of the book. I'll sing it. And they're like, do you know this one? I'm like, yes. Do you know this one? Yes, I do. This. Yeah, I'm a dueling piano player. I know them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the funny thing is,
people do that
I know
before.
my version. I don't know the karaoke version. So, because I skip stuff.
Oh man, when I had them do it almost without fail, the one that they'd always choose for me to sing is Shania Twain, "Man, I Feel Like a Woman."
Man,
almost every time, and I'd be like, "You guys don't understand. You're not the first person to do that," and I'll go up there and do it, and I don't care.
One of my partners does it. I hand it to him every time.
Yeah,
he makes it a joke.
It's fun. It's fun. I'm sorry. It's a fun song to sing, though. It's a fun song to sing. So
it is.
You did a good job making that one, and you did a good job making your songs too. And I'd love to have you back on talk more when you get some more music videos out and all that kind of stuff. And if you ever get to come up to the Tacoma, Washington area, let me know. And
I actually lived in Bellevue for a while, so
okay.
Yeah, so I have family up there in Linwood and Bellevue, and then over in the Tri-Cities on the other side of the state.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, my mom's side of the family is from Washington.
If you're ever up here playing, let me know, and I'll come.
Absolutely. So I did play. You were asking earlier, and I know you're trying to wrap up real quick. Pioneer Square in Seattle. I played at 88 Keys there a few times back when I first got started doing dueling pianos, because I would go up there and visit my grandmother, and I would play at 88 Keys right there. Now they have Keys on Main, and 88 Keys doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, so I have played up that way.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to come up and see you play. And I only try to wrap up because
Yeah.
I know how podcasts are, and when we get to 40 minutes, that's usually when people start to fall off. So we're about hitting that right. Yeah, we're about hitting. We're not that we're boring, but that's usually like people's drive to work. I figure is about that long, and so if you can make an episode about the same length as somebody's ride to work,
As a
probably the
commute,
same
yeah.
thing as probably the same thing as a CD. If you can keep it around that to an hour, and then people get through it. So I'm gonna play the credits. Stick with me, and we'll chat a little bit more.
Sure.